Hey everybody, welcome back to the Rise or Die podcast. This is yours truly, Stephen M. Lowisz. For episode 85, we all jack it up. So I'm actually recording this. Number one, I'm OCD, like really OCD. Now, I'm recording this about 2 months later than I was actually supposed to. So I was on iTunes and Google Play today, and I realized it listed that I have 103 podcasts, but the last one that I did was episode 104. And that really made me mad. I'm OCD. So I realized at some point I fucked up all the numbers. And that really irritated me. So I'm so OCD that I'm doing this podcast about 2 months later than I should have. A little less. Call it 1 month after I should have. And I'm making sure that the numbers are right so that from here on out, everything's kosher. And it's kind of funny. It's kind of just sad because it shows how OCD I am. But it actually points out something really neat. So we've taken a break over the last week. And we're relaunching the podcast, as everyone knows, this Friday. It is May 29th. We are launching on June 1st. And as I launch this brand new podcast, turning it into a video podcast, if you will. I don't know what you call that. Vidcast? Videocast? I don't know. We're turning it into an entirely new experience for all of you that have been listening. And, of course, trying to reach a wider audience and taking the message that I'm trying to communicate of entrepreneurship and focusing on expansion in every area of our lives. I realize as I'm launching all this new cool shit, it's like a huge kick to my ego, which is actually a good thing, when I realized I fucked up all the numbers. And I kept fucking them up for the last 20-some episodes. And it makes me realize, number one, my ego is not my amigo. It's just simply not my amigo, and it's not your amigo either. But we all make mistakes. We all jack it up. I am not infallible, meaning I screw things up nonstop. Ask my wife, especially now that we work together. I screw things up all the time, as do you. We all do. But to be a leader, to be an entrepreneur, to be a man that is expanding in all of the core four, to be someone that you actually love and appreciate, you don't have to be perfect. You can jack it up too. You can mess up, 20 podcast numbers. You can screw yourself up on iTunes and Google Play. Maybe you put up the worst video in the world for all of YouTube to see. Doesn't really matter. We all jack it up, but as long as we're consistent in our work, as long as we do the fucking work every single day, it doesn't actually matter. So, although I'm doing this 20 days after, or 30 days after I was supposed to, all is well. I'm going to keep on moving forward. We're going to have another kick-ass experience as of June 1st. Rise or Die is going to be unrecognizable. And we're also launching a couple other video series as well. So, what I want you to consider today as I wrap up episode 85, take a couple more day hiatus and come back on June 1st, is where are you jacking things up? Where have you made mistakes that you've neglected? I'm trying to come back and fix my mistake right now. But it's really easy to sweep them all under the rug. Where are you jacking things up? And what are you going to do in the next 48 hours to fix it? Crossbody being balance in business. That's it for episode 85. I'm not going to give you the typical spiel I usually do at the end of every podcast because, again, this podcast was already supposed to be done. I'll talk to you guys on Friday, 3 days from now, for an all-new Rise or Die experience, and that's going to be episode 105. I'll talk to you soon. Hey everybody, welcome to the Rise or Die podcast with Stephen M. Lowisz. This is episode 10, Wet T-shirt. And no, the title probably doesn't give you a good idea of what I'm actually talking about. I'm talking about a literal wet T-shirt, so get your mind out of the gutter. I don't hate anything, I don't think, more than being cold. I hate being cold. I'm not talking chilly, but like chilled to the bone. You know, I get up in the morning, a couple days a week, go to the gym and jump in the pool. And, you know, once I'm in the pool, I'm good. But it's a complete mental fuck. It's a mind fuck trying to get into that pool. I don't know why. I have an easier time getting up at 4 a.m. than I do when I'm already up to just get into the damn pool. Today was a little different, though. So I combined actually 2 days worth of workouts. I did a 50-minute bike ride and then a 4-mile run. And normally I take a couple shirts in my gym bag just so, you know, as you get really sweaty, especially during long endurance, cardio and exercise, the cold tends to seep in, right? Wet T-shirt, again, literal wet T-shirt. It makes it cold as hell. Well, I forgot extra shirts today. And, you know, I was actually feeling perfectly fine when it comes to how I was, you know, breathing, my muscles. I was doing completely fine, probably could have pushed even a little bit harder. But holy shit, that wet T-shirt was fucking with me. That wet T-shirt made me want to quit. That wet T-shirt made it miserable. And it was all mental, 100% mental. I'm a little chilly on the outside, got a couple extra pounds. I've got insulation, as I call it. I'm slightly fluffy, right? But man, that T-shirt was rough. And, you know, when you're doing a lot of cardio, you have some time to think. And I realize I have a wet T-shirt in every area of my life. And yes, this is a little cheesy, but so be it. I have a wet T-shirt in every area of my life. And for me, a wet T-shirt is something small that's fucking with my head that actually has no effect on me physically. It has no effect on me except the effect I let it have on me. There was nothing miserable about the dang T-shirt. It was all mental. In my marriage, there are things that get under my skin that really, truly just don't matter. In business, I try to do shit that I don't want to do, and it doesn't affect me physically at all. I just don't want to fucking do it, so I have a mental block, a roadblock up. I have a wet T-shirt in every area of my life. For me, a wet T-shirt, you know, when it comes to faith, is simply, I don't want to keep reading the Bible because I feel like I'm ADD and I don't have the patience. That's the same thing. It's a wet T-shirt. It's essentially a distraction that's getting in the way of what I want, but it's all mental. We let mental irritations, mental discomfort fuck with us. Stop us from getting the results that we want. Stop us from getting the results that we demand across all of the core four, body, being, balance, and business. So, again, I know the concept is a little cheesy, but hey, you know, I'm going to share whatever I get out of that day with you, and today it happens to be a wet T-shirt. Tomorrow it might be a dry towel. Who knows? But the question I'll pose to you is, what is your wet T-shirt in body, being, balance, and business? What's the small mental irritation, the mental roadblock that you have set up that's stopping you from the success that you want? I pushed through today. That T-shirt did not affect me at all. I was cold. I was kind of shivering a little bit. So all I did was run harder. And then I forgot all about it because my body temperature was plenty high. So what's the wet T-shirt that you're going to rip apart and tear down across body, being, balance, and business over the next day or two? Do me a favor. Share this podcast with someone that you think could benefit from it. Always appreciate a good share. And don't forget to subscribe at riseordiepodcast.com. Talk to you soon.